We are recording. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on the link. This is a little role play that Zola and I are going to do to add into our system 2, which is customer experience system. And Zola is going to interview me and explain, and then you're going to explain why you're doing this, aren't you, Zola? So
yeah.
The purpose of this video and the consult to really give a person a very individual customer experience and 5-star customer service. So we're really listening to them. Go ahead, Zola.
Awesome. So cool. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and hopefully you get something out of it. The reason we decided that this would be valuable is that as I start talking to people in my team, I realize that they're either not asking the right questions and they don't know what their customers' goals are. And at the end of the day, our job is to help our customers achieve exactly what they want. And if we don't ask that question and we don't know exactly what they want, then we're really not serving them in the way that they need to be served. So to do that, you have to get good at asking questions and finding out lots about that person, and making them aware of that you're going to ask them lots of questions is also really important. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm just going to run through how I consult a new person. And I have like a piece of paper that I've printed off and written exactly like questions to prompt me and a space to write the answer, so that as I am taking them through their 5-star experience, I can always refer back and look at what their goal is and why they wanted to achieve that. And because it's on hard copy, I find that much easier to be able to source compared to just having it on your phone where you've not actually really talked properly. So most of my consults are done over the phone, not necessarily through Zoom, mostly over the phone, and with often people I've never met and I don't know anything about them. So that's really important. If you know nothing about them, you really do have to ask everything to get a really well-rounded picture there. So anyway, Anna's role today is to be someone I don't know, and I'm going to ask her a whole lot of questions, and hopefully in a way that doesn't freak her out or make her feel uncomfortable. So here we go.
Here we go.
So Anna, thank you for reaching out and getting in touch with me. I understand that you're wanting to do something with your health and improve that part of your life and lifestyle. So I'm just going to ask you some questions to get to know you better, so that I can really create a regime that really fits in with you and will work in with your lifestyle. So I just need to know basically lots about you. So is it okay if I go ahead and ask you some questions? You're good with that? Okay, so Anna, tell me about some of your hobbies and interests. What are some things you really love to do?
I'm a bit of an extrovert, so I really love hanging out with my friends and just having a good yarn. I like gardening, and I used to be a runner, but not so much anymore. I'd like to get back into that. And I really get a great amount of joy from animals and just hanging out with them and playing. Dogs are my favorite animal in the world, and there's been times I find I just like being in the presence of animals as well. So those
great
hobbies, I suppose.
Great. Well, I love running and most animals, so we're going to be great friends. I love that. We can go running together one day. So Anna, do you have, how old are you, Anna? Do you have kids? Are you married? Tell me a bit more about that area of your life.
So I'm 35 and I have 2 kids, just little preschoolers. 3.5 and 16 months old.
Wow, that's busy. That's busy. And working, are you working part-time? Are you at home full-time? What are you doing in that department?
I work part-time, gardening 2 days a week.
And do you love that?
Yeah, it's my therapy.
A bit of child-free time?
Yeah, and not having to talk to people.
Oh, it's hilarious. Are you currently doing any exercise? Intentional exercise?
Not frequently.
Mm-hmm. And is that something you want to get back to, or is it not really an interest at the moment?
No, it is. I'd love to get more and get into exercise. My chance is really in the mornings. So it's just a matter of getting up early in the morning and going for a run or something before the kids get up. So yeah, it's just motivation, basically.
So what's holding you back at the moment from doing that? Is it just
Probably
motivation or
tiredness.
tiredness? Okay. And currently, any health problems, medications, anything in that department? Are you taking anything?
No.
You're healthy otherwise? Yeah. Really good. Okay. All right. And in terms of what you really want to achieve health-wise, what are some of your goals that you want to perhaps get out of improving your health? Tell me more about that.
I'd like to have more energy. I'm finding like there's days where I'm just fatigued and I have to go to bed early and just I would like to get up and do something in the morning and start my day off fresh, but I struggle to get up. I would like to tone up. I have had 2 kids and things are a bit wobbly, and I would like to have more lean muscle, tone up, feel more confident in my bikini at the summertime and be the hot mum on the beach.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'd feel pretty hot to feel good and to be like, yeah, now I'm a mum.
You want that look of where people, when they hear you're a mum, they're like, you're a mum?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And they'll be like, it's totally obvious, I can tell. So
I know it's so superficial, but
our goals are our goals and they're okay, whatever they are. So in terms of your energy and not feeling fresh and stuff, I mean, what would that mean to you if you were to wake up and feel amazing?
Oh, wow. I would be able to be more productive. I'd get stuff done. And I know that exercise is so important for your mental health and having something for yourself and having that time out from these 4 walls would be really good too. I get exercise from gardening, but just to have that fresh start in the morning knowing that I've done something. So I know that I'll feel way more productive and empowered, I suppose. I'll be like, yeah, for a run.
It's that experience. It's experiencing that level of achievement. I reckon that's what it is that you're looking for. Is sometimes I personally feel like when I'm at home with just the kids, I feel like I feel like the achievement level isn't what I would want it to be. And if you go and do those things for yourself, you feel like, yeah, it's been a good day. So I understand that completely. Now, I understand you know a little bit about the Isagenix system. You've been to an education evening, and you've got a few questions around that. And is there anything about the program that particularly makes you nervous?
The cleansing side sounds a bit mental. Going without food for that long.
Yeah. So that concerns you too.
Yeah, I just don't
fast,
see. Yeah, the fasting. And I'm hearing more about the benefits, and I hear that people get more energy, and that's something that I want. But it's just it feels a bit strange to go a day without food.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And then you get more energy from that. How does that work? So no, I completely relate to that and why you'd think that. Anything else about the program? You're okay with having smoothies? You're okay with eating clean?
Well, I don't eat clean now. Like, I know I don't. I'm not a meal prep Sunday person. Mm-hmm. I just look at the cupboard and go decide and imagine what's for dinner. So, okay. And I think that, yeah, the convenience of it is going to be massive for me. So no, I don't think I have any issue as long as they taste good.
Yeah. And with the fasting, it really is a skill. I have looked after lots of people, and what I've learned is that there are some people that kind of cruise through fasting, and they tend to be the people who are perhaps more your meal skippers. So if you're someone who gets up and doesn't really eat breakfast and you kind of go all day, then realize you're ravenous, those people tend to find fasting not so bad. But if you're someone who's very routine and very structured, and your body starts to break down at 9 a.m. if you haven't had breakfast, then you might find fasting a little bit more of a challenge because it's all mindset focused. And what I would recommend is that if you're looking at using the system to help with energy and to help you fast, you really need a pack that's got a lot of support products to really assist you on those fasting days, which will make it easier, because if you really are going completely without, it's going to be much harder for you.
Yeah, I'm definitely a 5 meal a day kind of person.
Yeah, so you would definitely benefit from having the snacks that have that will cater towards a savoury tooth or a sweet tooth or both, depending on what you feel like, and having all of the bits and pieces that will last you months rather than, it won't last a month, it'll last you months.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What would you say is your worst eating habit?
I'm a sucker for baked goods.
Oh, right. Do you bake them yourself or do you buy them?
Both.
Okay. And how often would that happen?
It has to have some biscuits with it. Like, you can't have a cup of tea without biscuits. So I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah.
How often? Every day. Once
Okay.
a day, every day.
Okay.
Sundays is dessert night. So I'd bake a pudding.
So you'd say Sundays?
Sundays, yeah.
Sundays are dessert night. So you've got a sweet tooth versus a savoury tooth?
Sweet tooth, yeah.
Sweet tooth.
Yeah.
One thing interesting about like the isogenic system is that a lot of the time the sweet tooth gets quite curbed from the smoothies being sweet. And so that's an interesting observation I'll observe to see if that helps in time to curb your sweet tooth, because you can have chocolate shakes twice a day if you're a chocolate fiend, or it might help in that department with that. And with your baking, do you prefer homemade stuff or do you like the bought stuff? Do you like to know what goes in your food? Not too worried?
I'm more concerned about the packaging than what's in it, which I know.
Unnecessary plastic in the environment.
Yeah, so that's why I bake. But I know there are preservatives and all that kind of stuff in the, supermarket biscuits. So yeah, that is a thing that comes through my head, but it's more the packaging thing.
Okay. Now, can you just give me a brief overview of what are your eating behaviours during the day? So, starting from the start of the day, when do you start eating? What time? And then just sort of drop me through genuinely what you do.
Okay, so usually in the morning I have cereal and yogurt or porridge with the kids, and we all just sit down and eat it. And I have a coffee or a cup of tea or something. And that's at about, anywhere between 7:30 and 8:30, depending on the day.
Yeah.
And then really, I'm more structured on the days I go to work. On the days I don't, I kind of just graze at home.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like some days morning tea would be just an apple, and some days it will be a cup of tea and biscuits. Lunch would be, it could be, most of the time it's a sandwich with some, salad, cucumber, avocado kind of thing.
Do you put any meat on that or protein on that?
No, I don't really. Or cruskets with some tuna or something. Yep. And I really love egg soldiers.
Mm-hmm. How much bread would you eat when you have an egg soldier?
Two slices.
Two toast.
I call it girl bread. The Bergen bread, soy and linseed.
Yep, I know the one.
And then dinner is, like meat and veg, nachos, wraps. Hang on, please. Just general Kiwi dinners.
Okay. What about afternoon tea, though? Do you have anything at afternoon tea, or when you get home from work, pre-dinner, around that time?
If I do, it's cheese and crackers, basically, or yeah, that's all I'd have. Sometimes that time is quite busy, so I just carry on through till dinner.
Do you eat at the same time as the children? Do you eat early, or do you have your dinner a bit later?
Yeah, we eat early, so 5:30 is dinner.
Okay. And do you eat in the evening at all, or just on Sunday where you have pudding?
Sometimes I'll have in the evening snack.
Yeah, what would that be?
Some more biscuits, or there is generally chocolate in the house.
Okay. Do you find if it's near your menstrual cycle that you're worse in terms of chocolate? It's a real trigger?
Yeah. I have dark chocolate, so I don't eat so much.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think the home baking and the biscuits are really doing in terms of comfort for you?
Well, it's just that sugar. It's just that niceness. It's
Is it you're feeling low in energy at that time, or are you just feeling a bit peckish, or?
Oh, it's just habit. No, I don't know if I'm low in energy. I suppose the caffeine of the coffee and the tea helps with energy, just to get me through or wake me up, or it's my body's like, oh, it's time for a cup of tea, and then biscuits just go with it.
Do you think for 30 days you could undo that behavior and see what happens?
Well, that's really why I'm talking to you, Zola.
Yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll just give you a few ideas of where I see you can make a few changes, and then we'll look at getting you your pack sorted and getting that sent to you. And in the interim, there's some things that I think you can do, and also roll over into what you can carry on doing whilst you're using the product. So one of the things I think you could do to improve things is to perhaps have your breakfast a little later, and just start eating slightly later in the day, so that you're not starting so early at 7:30 and then getting really hungry mid-morning, and then lunch, and then afternoon, and then perhaps having more protein at breakfast and also with lunch. So if you're having, for example, at lunchtime, a salad sandwich, chuck on some protein there, whether it be a couple of eggs, boiled eggs mashed up, or some slices of meat left over from dinner, something along the lines like that. And for breakfast, adding some extra protein to your porridge and your cereal and yogurt, or having a savoury option there, and seeing if that helps with your sweet cravings. If you start the day savoury.
What would I add into the cereal, for example?
Well, there are some really good protein powders on the market. I know that Isagenix does do one as well. So we could also consider ordering that if some days you wanted to carry on having porridge, but you wanted to keep having protein there. So that is an option you can add to your porridge after it's been cooked. So mix it through. It just will increase that protein level. If, for example, you have like a family tradition of having porridge every Saturday morning, you wanted to carry on with that, there are options to increase that protein, because that protein is really what will keep you satisfied for a long time. And hopefully, if you're having more protein at that meal, you're less likely to feel that peckish thing around wanting to have something sweet with your cup of tea or coffee. And working on really breaking that association. And as you said, it's just habit. So you can undo that one. And I think you'll feel better for it, because you won't be playing with your blood sugars so much. And,
how long does it take to break a food habit on average?
Oh, everyone's different. Some people are very all or nothing, and they can just go bang, and they've broken it, and they've broken it in a day. Others, it's almost like a weaning process, and it's a state of making small goals that are achievable. So it might be like every second day, you decide that on a Monday you're going to have a biscuit, but on Tuesday you're not. And then Wednesday you alternate, and then changing that spacing. So it's really working together and finding out what you can actually do and give up before you feel deprived. Because as soon as you start feeling deprived, you get grumpy and you don't want to do it anymore. So it's working with you and knowing exactly how much of this is diet versus lifestyle, and finding that balance where you do see that this can be long-term. Because what I want for all my customers is that this is a long-term option. And as soon as you feel like you're being deprived, it feels like you can't achieve it. And then that's where it gets too hard. So we really want to work on making sure that we work together closely, and that we can make a program that suits you for the long term.
Cool. Sounds good.
Alrighty. So what's the best way to stay in touch with you and keep in contact?
Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
If that's all right. I think I'm always near my phone.
Okay. And how long do you think you need to have a think about this? Do you think you need to talk to, because I know you know already about like what the packs are, you've had a chat to someone at the tasting party that you went to, so you know all about your options there. you need to talk to hubby, or is this decision you can make on your own?
Unfortunately, I can make it on my own. It's just biting the bullet, I suppose, and just making that commitment to say yes. I suppose we just had to shuffle around some money, but I think I'll be, good to get back to you within about 2 or 3 days.
Okay. So if I haven't heard from you by Saturday, should I send you a message and just check where you're at? Okay.
Sounds good. He's all about it. Fortunately, he's a good man. So yeah, I think just have to get some stuff together and I'll get that ball rolling.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to share today, Anna? Are you feeling confident, comfortable?
No, I'm just a little bit concerned about the shakes not tasting good. But I suppose that will come. Is there anything like that I should expect how I feel? Like, when do you think I should start to feel better, and am I going to have any sort of symptoms with a change of diet?
Yeah. So that's a good question. So with the shakes, I mean, I've tried a lot of shakes in my clinical setting, and so far these are the nicest ones I've tasted. But to really get the best out of your shake, you need to have ice and water and a good blender. So if you haven't got a really good blender, I recommend that is something that you need to put on your shopping list to get a really good one. And I recommend one called the Nutri Ninja Pro, because it can smash ice up really, really well. So that's just a little tip from me. And you can add stuff to your shakes. So some people who are very textural, they want something they can eat. So the shakes actually whip up super thick. So if you want to eat them, you can. You can also chop a banana up. You can add some scroggin to it if you really want that textural feel. And especially after a cleanse day, you might find that really useful, because sometimes you just want to eat and experience the chewing. So definitely. And the other thing is that there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you really dislike everything a lot, that is an option that we can talk about then. So it is risk-free in that department, but I would always like you to go through the whole 30 days and really let your body experience it. Now, in terms of detox, it really does depend on how your body is right now and the food intake you're taking in. I mean, your food intake isn't super crazy bad, so there may be a mild bit of detox that will happen around day 3, day 4. You might get a little headachy. You also might get a little constipated, or it might go the other way. Okay, so just relay that back to me, and I can advise on what to do. If depending on which way you go, I can help you there. But yeah, so it might be some headaches, lots of water. If you really need Panadol, take it. Okay, there's no sense to don't be a martyr about it. So keep yourself comfy, and then that will pass. But it is just your body usually alkalizing and coming into a better state of health. But to do that, it has to go through that phase, unfortunately. But it's quite normal, and just message me and I can be sympathetic or tell you to harden up depending on what you need at the time. So all right.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
So any other worries?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So I'll send you a message through Messenger in a couple of days and see where you're at and follow that up with you.
Cool.
Awesome. Right. See you, Anna.
Recording. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I just made that up on the spot, but we'll have those questions. We'll put those questions in the system too, and that's just a really nice guide on how to step people through. And the benefit of this is that you're listening, you're making, you're showing that you care about them getting results, and you're really listening and picking out the needs that they need for the best results. So, and the best products that is allocated for them. So yeah, we both think it's very important to give people the best customer service and really ask those prompting questions to get to know them and find out what really they need and what they're looking for.
And the other thing is in relating, the important, the first question asked was, what are your hobbies and interests? And really finding that common ground with people, and also asking about, do they have children? Yes or no? How old are they? The reason I ask that question is if the woman is menopausal. So you need to find out about that, and if there's any hormone imbalances around that, because people like that find weight harder to lose. So all these things, if you feel out of your depth, you can ask me, and get some coaching there. And if there's obviously health concerns that are way beyond your understanding, then definitely referring people to talk to their doctor and things like that. So all of this just takes practice, and I've done these consulting like interview type things with people for years and years and years, and so I know how to do that. But it is just a skill that you learn, like anything. You can learn how to do that, and it's so important to know who you're talking to. And obviously there was a whole bit missing that we didn't really talk about what Isagenix was. I made the assumption she knew the answers, so to cut down time. Yeah, so yeah, I just cut those corners there. But things I could have done is explained what Ionix does and how that's going to help with energy and sleep and all that. But I assume that if you're watching this, you know most of that anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you, Zola.
No problem.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.